Hey y'all, it's Lizzy and welcome back to my channel, and today I just want to do a short video of what my daily notebooks are. So if you know me in real life, you know that I'm always buying journals after journals after journals. I've narrowed it down to 4 that I've used on a daily basis. So today we're just gonna go over what notebooks I use on a daily basis and what benefits they bring. Let's get started. So the first and probably the most obvious notebook I use every day is my bullet journal. It is a cute ballerina pink. I like to keep my bullet journals for a full year because I hate when people have to switch, like if you have to do from like half the year and then you have to do something new, which I get, just to have some type of planner, especially if you like knowing what's gonna happen ahead of time. The reason that I love having a bullet journal is, aside from the fact that it organizes my day, I'm already an anxious mess. My old username used to be anxiety-ridden Lizzy. We know this. I like having my bullet journal to basically, I don't even plan them out. I just put like, oh, what might happen on this day? What might happen on that day? That way I have it all set. And I, of course, love to decorate my journals. This is so far my July spread. At some point I was keeping up like a very clean cut theme. Like if we go back to my older months, all of February was letters. I do try to keep a theme, but at this point for this year, it kind of became just basing it off of colors. This was my January spread. You can tell, do I keep up with it on a day-to-day basis? I don't. It is nice to have something. And if someone says like, oh, you're supposed to be using your bullet journal every day, no one can tell you how you're supposed to use your journals. They're your journals. The second journal that I use on a day-to-day is my YouTube journal. You've probably seen this in another video. I write down all of my YouTube ideas. I decorated the front page with the YouTube button. Everything that I want to talk about, all of the possible videos that I might make. You can tell there are a couple that didn't make the cut. This is how I like to keep all of my video ideas in one journal. That way there's nothing missing. Okay. The third journal I use on a day-to-day basis is my everything or my junk journal. So I used to use smaller journals for this, but recently I realized there's a lot of journals that I was like, ooh, I'm gonna use you as a diary. Never got past probably like the 3rd or 5th day. So I decided, let me go ahead and make use of this. So I use this journal as basically just a junk journal. Video ideas when I don't have my video journal, organizing my video ideas, notes for days that I need to take notes, and just random things that come to mind are written in here. It's nice to have one of these because if you're like me, I like having everything in certain sections. So if I think of a poem, I was always like, where the fuck is my poem journal? Or if I thought of a quote, I was like, oh, where's my quote book? Using a junk journal is really nice because you're able to just put everything in there. Later, you can go put it in its designated journal, or you can just keep it all in here and just have the memories of everything that you've written down. You can write down anything in here. So the world's your oyster. The last journal I use, and this one's probably not a day-to-day, this is just whenever something comes to mind. This is a new thing I'm trying. This is a what I say versus what I should say journal. So if you know me, I've had depression and anxiety since I was a teen. A lot of the time in my life, I'm putting myself down. I bully myself a lot. I will talk down to myself a lot. Me and my boyfriend, we were talking and he was like, you need to stop bullying yourself. Like this is getting, at this point, you're putting yourself down over stuff you don't need to put yourself down on. He was right. I was going through the worst depression of this year. I was like, you know what? Let's try to make a change. So I've seen other people do the where I am, where I want to be journals. And I feel like if I do that, I'm just going to talk down to myself again because I'm just going to be like, you should be over there. You should be this successful. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. I don't want to do that. So instead, I wrote down a what I say versus what I should say. And I did it in this cute little journal that says, think about you. Just because every time I go to a store, I try to find a journal. I don't need new ones, but you know, I'm a journal fiend. I need to stop. I'll give one example. One thing I always say, or when people say, why aren't you optimistic? Why are you so pessimistic? Is because I was always taught you have to prepare for the worst. I always have in my mind that the worst thing is going to happen. That way, if a good thing happens, I'm not disappointed. And if a bad thing does happen, I'm just like, well, you kind of expected this. I've been doing that for the longest time. And my boyfriend and I were talking and he pointed out to me, you need to hope for the best. Even if you're preparing for the worst, you need to hope for the best. Because the more you look at it in a bleak circumstance, you attract what you put out. If your thoughts are only, this is gonna go bad, it's gonna go bad. So I wrote down what I say, I always prepare for the worst. What I should say, I prepare for the worst, but I hope for the best. This is just a little something that I've been using to try to help my mental health because I know that I'm not in the healthiest mental health state at the moment. It was just one of those things where your mental health just all of a sudden crashed on you. Even if you tried to prepare for it, even if you were like, no, I'm fine, I'm healthy, I'm good, it happens. So I took up this journal to try to help myself. This is a little bonus journal. I don't count it as one of my personal journals, but you know, I use it every single day. It is my work journal. This is where I write down every single call I have to make every day. That way I can keep track of every call I've made, every person I've talked to. That way if someone comes back and tells me, well, you didn't talk to this person or you didn't talk to that person, I can be like, that's right here. Talk to them on this day at this time. Mainly because sometimes electronic stuff doesn't always work out. So I decided let's just go ahead and write everything down. And I have about 2 that have already been fully used. One of them back at the office, which has been closed. And one of them I have here with me, but again, can't show much from the inside. But yeah, those are the journals I use on a day-to-day basis. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like this video if you also have a couple of journals that you use on a day-to-day. Comment down below what journals you use and if I'm using too many. And subscribe if you want to see more videos. I'm trying to post every Friday at 4 o'clock. So far, that's the time that has been working. Hopefully we keep up with it. All of my social media will be down in the description below, and I will see you guys next week. Bye y'all.